Now remember, even wars have rules. There are places such as hospitals, schools, where people can take refuge, and these must be sanctuaries, where people can be safe, even in a place of conflict. But in the Gaza Strip, there are no sanctuaries whatsoever. Even hospitals, United Nations-run schools, and residential apartments have all come under the target of the Israeli forces. Now, Israel, in its campaign of relentless bombings, has even targeted hospitals. And in this case, the Al-Shifa hospital, the biggest health facility in the Gaza Strip, has also become one of its targets. An estimated 60,000 people have taken refuge within the premises of the Al-Shifa hospital. The Palestinians are trapped inside the walls of the hospitals, and according to reports that are coming in, Israel has staged some ferocious attacks just on the outskirts of the premises of the Al-Shifa hospitals. The constant airstrikes have dealt a heavy blow to the healthcare system. The operations in the Al-Shifa hospital, according to reports, have now been suspended due to lack of resources and power cuts. The fuel has completely run out. And according to reports that have come in, there were about 38 infants in incubators, and the power has gone off, and therefore, in the neonatal ward, they are said to have actually been killed because the power has gone off. The Doctors Without Borders have said that they have lost complete contact with their staff inside Gaza's biggest healthcare facility, the Al-Shifa hospital. The situation is extremely dire, and the lives of several people who at this moment are taking treatment inside the Al-Shifa hospital are at risk. And 39 children have passed away inside the incubators because the oxygen has run out, because the electricity has gone off. The hospital authorities narrate the extremely dire conditions, and they've issued an SOS and have urged the world leaders to come to their rescue. But the question, of course, is any world leader listening?
الجثث الآن تملأ ساحة المستشفى، خصوصا بعد مجزرة مدرسة البراق التي أسفرت عن 50 شهيد، وملقون في الساحة الأمامية للمستشفى، بالإضافة إلى وجود عشرات الجثث الموجودة مسبقا في مشرحة مجمع الشفاء الطبي. لا يوجد كهرباء لحفظها ولا يوجد إمكانية لدفنها. النفايات الطبية لا يمكن إخراجها من مباني المستشفى، مما يهدد بانتشار العدوى ووجود كارثة في المكان. خيام النازحين اشتعلت فيها النيران نتيجة القصف المتواصل لساحات ومباني المستشفى. Here in Gaza we facing bad war crimes. Hospitals now in the north facing direct bombing from the Israeli warplanes. There is no spaces for the patients, there is no blood for them, and there is a lot of killed body around the hospital. Inside the hospital, the killed body cannot be contained. This is a call for a human community. This should stop now. We cannot continue with such war crimes. It is unlogic. There is no excuse to have direct attack toward the hospital.
According to reports, this is what Israelis are claiming, that Hamas is hiding underneath the Al-Shifa hospital. The Israelis have also put out videos where they say, these are graphic videos, where they say that Hamas has got a command center underneath the Al-Shifa hospital. So with Israeli forces making their way and inching closer and closer to the Al-Shifa hospital premises, the question, of course, is what is to happen to the 60,000 Palestinian people who have taken refuge inside the hospital. Now, the Israeli authorities say that they must all evacuate, but remember, there's literally no place that is safe in the Gaza Strip. And despite the humanitarian pauses that Israel has announced, what is actually happening at this moment is people can only flee from one place to another, but there is literally no place that can actually guarantee the safety of the Palestinian people. And also to give us more perspective in terms of what is happening at this moment, we are being joined by Mr. Mohammed Najib, who's joining us live from Ramallah. Mr. Najib is a war correspondent and also a security analyst. Now, Mr. Najib, the reports and also the images that are emerging from what is happening at this moment in the Al-Shifa hospital are extremely concerning. Tell us as to what the situation is like out there, because we're given to understand that the Israelis are operating very close to the compound of the Al-Shifa premises.
Yes, Mohammed, since yesterday evening, the Israeli tanks came close and surrounded Al-Shifa hospital, 200 meters far from Al-Shifa hospital, and continue their bombing around the hospital, preventing the ambulances to transport injured from other areas to the hospital. There are some 16,000 Palestinians who displaced from their homes are hiding there, taking shelter, in addition to 500 patients. Some of them are a kidney failure and need to have the machines to be connected to the machines, other at the ICU. And the director of the hospital says that the fuel is about to run within a few 3 hours. So then they have to disconnect the machines from those patients and injured. So that will threat their lives. Israel claims that Hamas command hidden there, but Israel says that there are 40,000 Hamas fighters in Gaza, and it's unlikely to believe that the 40,000 are hidden in a hospital, because they have their own tunnels, they have other areas. So this unjustified that targeting the Al-Quds hospital, Al-Shifa hospital, and other hospitals. This is unacceptable according to the international law, the war law, the humanitarian law. It could be criticized by all the international organizations. And the sympathy that was with Israel, pro-Israel at the beginning of this war, now changed, because no one accepts to target the hospital.
Mr. Najib, this was the question that I wanted to ask you. In the initial days of the war, Israel had said that it does not target hospitals. And now it is saying that Hamas has got its main command center underneath the Al-Shifa hospital. Now, there are a lot of international health agencies which operate in the Al-Shifa hospital. Has there ever been any evidence that Hamas has a command center underneath the Al-Shifa hospital?
I saw some evidences and the testimonies for those engineers who built the hospitals there, and Indonesian hospital, Al-Quds hospital, and also the foreign medicines who operate and work at Al-Shifa hospital. And they said they toured the hospital. They didn't find any command center for Hamas in that area. But as long as the Israeli tanks are 200 meters away from Al-Shifa hospital and 20 meters from Al-Quds hospital that belong to the Red Crescent, so let them go inside and see and arrest them, show us the footage, arrest Hamas guys, and prove to the world that. But Hamas didn't find any place in Gaza just to go to hide in the hospital, because the theory is wrong. Hamas wants the ground incursion to clash face-to-face personally with the Israeli armed forces, not to hide from them. So this is not the fighting doctrine of Hamas to hide in the hospital at the moment. They want to fight, and the people there inside, maybe 1, 2, 3 injured there, treated, 100 injured treated from Hamas in the hospital, that could be believable, but not like to use it as a stronghold.
Mr. Najib, we also need to talk about what is happening in the West Bank. The world's attention at this moment is focused on what is happening in the Gaza Strip. But the fact is, even in the West Bank, there's been a sharp uptick in the violence that has taken place. An estimated 160-odd Palestinians have been killed in the last 1 month. Tell us what the situation is like at this moment due to the violence that is unfolding in the West Bank where you are.
Yes, Muhammad. Even the war started by Hamas and Israel in Gaza, but the West Bank wasn't part of that. But since the first day, the Israeli armed forces closed the West Bank and prevented 200,000 Palestinian workers to go to work in Israel and the other 3 million to go to Israel. They reactivate and set up 750 military checkpoints across the West Bank, restricted the freedom of movement. They also heavily cracked down on towns, refugees camps, cities. Every day, every night, there are raids for the IDF. They are using live ammunition, excessive force against Palestinians, demonstrators, even stone throwers, not necessarily gunmen. And that's resulted in 186 killed, 2,300 injured, and around 2,400 arrested by Israel. So the clashes continues. The Israeli incursion continues against the West Bank and home demolition. And the Palestinians here are very angry and very upset because Israel military cracked down on them. The settlers prevent them from picking up their olive from the farms near the settlements and attacking them. Israel deducted the Palestinian Authority tax money, so the Palestinian Authority is unable to pay the salaries for its public employees, 150,000 for October, and they prevent the workers to work in Israel. And they are angry because they feel they are helpless. They cannot help their people in Gaza. Muhammad, in the previous Israeli wars against Gaza, the crossing borders between Gaza and Israel were open. So Palestinians from here in Ramallah and West Bank collect, donate water, medical supplies, food supplies, and send to their people. Now it's closed. They can't do anything except protestations and demonstration. But who do like on the Facebook get arrested? It's not an easy situation. It's an unprecedented escalation by the Israelis that push the West Bank for more escalation.
All right. Violence. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Najib, for joining us and getting us an update on what the situation at this moment is like in both the Gaza Strip and also in the West Bank.
Thank you.